Breaking. Princess Leonor and Christian's fairy tale royal wedding wows Spain crown sparkling heart. The familiar image of a royal wedding. The expected elegance. The predictable perfection. But wait. Something happened today that no one saw coming. A twist so intimate, so emotional, so breathtaking, it rewrote everything you thought you knew about royal love. Because this wasn't just a wedding. This was the moment Spain realized the future had arrived. And it arrived hand in hand. From the very first light of dawn, Madrid felt different. The air was charged, the crowds restless, the atmosphere glowing with anticipation. People gathered in plazas, on balconies, at barricades, all craning their necks toward the path leading to the royal palace. Everyone knew today was historic. But no one knew just how deeply this day would touch them. Inside Zarzuela Palace, Princess Leonor awakened before the sun. Spain's future queen, a young woman who had carried the weight of tradition, expectation, and responsibility for her entire life. And today, she was adding love, real love, to that legacy. Her bridal suite was silent for a moment, a quiet sacredness lingering just before history fully came alive. She stood before the mirror, hair pinned, veil flowing, dress shimmering with hand-stitched pearls that once belonged to Queen Victoria Eugenie. She looked regal, she looked powerful, she looked human. A soft knock. The door opened. King Felipe entered. And for a moment, he didn't say a word. He simply looked at his daughter, the little girl he raised, the heir he trained, the young woman now stepping into her destiny. His eyes softened. Leonor's lips trembled. They didn't need to speak. The hug between father and daughter said everything. A hug so real it instantly became one of the most unforgettable royal moments Spain had ever witnessed. But love stories don't just exist inside palace walls. Across the city, Prince Christian of Denmark was preparing too. Calm, collected, but unmistakably emotional. Christian, the young man whose charm, integrity, and quiet strength had won over not only Leonor's heart, but now an entire nation. He adjusted his ceremonial uniform, a gift passed down from his grandfather. And at his side stood his father, Crown Prince Frederick, offering gentle encouragement only a father can give. As guests arrived, the cameras began capturing the splendor of royal Europe converging in one place. Queen Letizia radiated elegance in soft ivory silk. Queen Margrethe moved with the grace of a monarch who had seen decades of royal unions. Princess Sophia, glowing with sisterly pride, walked with confidence that only comes from standing beside someone you love deeply. And then the murmurs began. Because something unexpected appeared. A quiet moment between Leonor and Sophia, away from the public eye but caught by a single lens. Sophia took Leonor's hands, squeezed them, and whispered something that made Leonor smile through her tears. A gesture of sisterhood, of unity, of companionship that would anchor her through everything that lay ahead. And the world melted. The palace bells chimed. The music swelled. And the doors opened. Leonor stepped out. The crowd gasped. Her dress shimmered like morning light across water. Not overwhelming, not extravagant, just stunning. A balance of tradition and modernity. Spain in the future. Queen and bride. The perfect symbol of who she was becoming. As she approached the long aisle stretched under vaulted ceilings, every step echoed her journey. Her childhood appearances. Her first speeches. Her military training. Her dedication to the crown. And now, the promise of a shared destiny. Christian stood at the altar. When their eyes met, something unspoken connected them instantly. The entire room felt it. A love. Unforced. Organic. Real. The kind that doesn't shout, but radiates. The kind that endures. And that's when it happened. The unexpected moment that stunned even the most seasoned royal watchers. Leonor paused. Just briefly. A single heartbeat. Her eyes drifted toward the front row, toward her parents, toward her sister, toward the Spain she would one day lead. And her expression softened into something unmistakable, a realization of the magnitude of what she was stepping into. Not fear, not hesitation, but profound understanding. Christian noticed. He stepped forward, breaking the rigid formality of royal ceremony. He extended his hand early, before protocol allowed it. A gesture that defied tradition. A gesture that said, "You are not alone. Not today. Not ever." Gasps echoed across the hall. Commentators whispered. Cameras zoomed in. Leonor placed her hand in his. And Spain fell silent. It was the simplest act, and yet the most intimate. A moment of pure humanity inside centuries of ritual. The moment that would define their marriage. The vows began. Words spoken not from obligation, but from devotion. Christian promised loyalty not just to Leonor, but to Spain, an unprecedented emotional pledge that touched millions watching across the world. Leonor spoke with her signature steadiness, but her voice held a gentle tremble when she promised to build a future rooted in respect, unity, and love. The rings exchanged. The kiss followed. A kiss filled with genuine warmth, overflowing with years of quiet companionship blossoming into a lifelong bond. But the ceremony was only the beginning. As they walked out onto the palace balcony, the roar of the crowd surged like a rising wave. Tens of thousands cheering, flags waving, children lifted onto shoulders, elderly spectators crying openly. For a moment, Spain felt united in a way it hadn't felt in decades. A couple not just representing royalty, but embodying hope. Leonor stepped forward first. Her hand lifted in a royal wave, but when Christian placed his hand gently on her back, she turned, interlaced her fingers with his, and waved together. A symbolic shift. A shared monarchy in the making. In the reception hall, the atmosphere softened into joy and authenticity. King Felipe gave a heartfelt toast, his eyes welling as he thanked Christian for loving his daughter not because of her crown, but in spite of it. Queen Letitia's speech surprised everyone, filled with warmth, humor, and a touching story about Leonor's childhood determination to always protect the people she loves. Christian laughed. Leonor blushed. Guests cheered. And then came the dance. Their first dance wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't choreographed. It was simply them, two people moving naturally, laughing when Christian momentarily stepped on her dress, smiling when Leonor pressed her forehead to his. The room didn't just watch. It felt the moment. As the evening unfolded, more layers of their relationship emerged. Private moments with Sofia, a quiet exchange between Christian and King Felipe. A brief moment where Queen Letizia discreetly wiped away tears. Guests from across Europe marveling at how refreshing, how surprisingly genuine, this royal union felt. But the final moment, the one that locked this day into history, came at sunset. Leonor and Christian stepped outside into the courtyard, away from the noise, for a brief moment together. A camera far across the grounds captured it without interrupting. They stood close, talking softly. Christian brushed a loose strand of hair from Leonor's face. She laughed, quietly, like someone who had finally exhaled after carrying a lifetime of expectations. And then she said something, read from her lips but unheard by viewers. "Let's do this together." Christian smiled. Always. It was the unofficial vow. The real vow. The one that would lead Spain into a new era. The fairy tale wedding had beauty, elegance, grandeur. But what truly captivated Spain, and the world, was the authenticity. The humanity. The partnership forming at the heart of the Spanish crown. A royal couple who didn't act like actors in a centuries-old play, but like two people deeply, honestly in love. And that is why this wedding wasn't just an event. It was a turning point. A promise. A rebirth of royal symbolism. A fairy tale built not on fantasy, but on truth. Spain didn't just witness a royal wedding today. Spain witnessed the moment its future queen stepped into her destiny, with the man who chose to stand beside her, not behind her. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian. A love story written by history. A union blessed by tradition. But above all, a future shaped by two hearts choosing each other. A fairy tale that didn't just wow Spain. It transformed it.